She founded or co-founded two of the largest dating apps in the world and became the youngest self-made female billionaire, all before age 31. We're talking about Whitney Wolfe Herd, and she is the topic of today's episode number 2 of Billionaire Values, Cupid's Billions. Welcome and welcome back to The Greatness, where we believe that life is achievement and achievement is life. At The Greatness, our mission is to bring you the information and the inspiration you need to succeed and to achieve. Whether your goals are to summit Mount Everest and live to talk about it, or to live in the penthouse in the tallest residential building on earth, or something as simple as losing 30 pounds in 6 months. Our goal is to inspire and inform so that you can achieve.
If you want to be good, do what they say you should. But if you want to be great, you innovate.
No truer words could have been spoken by Ms. Herd, whose entire public career, at least since college, has been a series of creations, innovations, adaptations, and often overcomings. Whitney's core billionaire value has been from the very beginning to act on your values and or your beliefs. She's one of the few people about whom you could say, you don't know what her beliefs are, but you absolutely know what her values are. And I think this is one of the highest compliments that could be paid. From her first major entrepreneurial endeavor, when she sold bamboo totes to help victims of the BP oil spill back in 2010, Herd has always been guided and inspired by her values. She's one of the few and perhaps the only billionaire who made their fortune by following and acting upon their values. While acting on your values is certainly the most fundamental of Herd's inspirations, she's a great deal more than a mere philanthropist. Let's listen to her describe her executive style, her entrepreneurial method in her own words.
I'll let you in on a little secret. I didn't read any business books before starting Bumble, and yet I was able to use my instinct, my passion, my conviction in the mission, my deep care and loyalty to the customer to really operate instinctively and intuitively to build day by day, bit by bit.
While these are excellent executive leadership skills, in our research of Ms. Herd, we discovered 3 additional core values that she has used repeatedly and to great effect in her success and achievement trajectory. The first of these we call flipping the script.
I was going through a very public breakup with Tinder, and I was getting harassed all day long by strangers, and even in some instances, not strangers on the internet. I was getting every threat you can imagine. This was before Me Too and Time's Up, so I didn't have a lot of public support or even non-public support because women hadn't really been publicly advocated for in the recent times, certainly not on social media. So I remember it vividly. I was actually crying on a bath mat. That's a real thing, not a metaphor. I was crying on a bath mat, reading messages, feeling like I cannot do this anymore. I don't know how to go forward. I feel alone. I feel abandoned. I feel completely paranoid in how to exist in this broken, toxic world. So I sat in the deepest, saddest moment maybe I had had in my life. And then I had an epiphany. I said, wait a second. If I feel this way, there's a 13-year-old girl probably down the street and millions more of them that are getting bullied on their phones right now. There's no escape for them. There's no getting picked up from school and clocking off and going home to a safe place. The bullying on the playground is now in the bedroom. And I deeply, deeply felt a pull and a need to go and fix it.
Herd's ability to flip the script, her ability to turn a negative into a positive, to turn trauma into triumph, is without a doubt her most powerful and impactful billionaire value. But the techniques and mechanisms that she used to flip the script are not exclusive to her, nor are they some sort of billionaire secret. They're available to everyone and can be used in any situation or phase of life. The first step to flipping the script is to separate the conscious mind from the emotional body, from the emotional reactions. Once the conscious mind has achieved a degree of separation and independence from the heart-based emotional reactions, we can begin to employ what we call 3D vision. 3D vision is simply the ability to see deeper into a particular emotion, to see higher above a particular emotion or situation, and to see the situation from multiple facets and angles. Once you have achieved 3D vision, you can see deep, high, short-term, long-term, and all sides of a particular situation. And then you can turn lead into gold.
Every single person, you included, whoever's watching this, has had something break their heart. And if you can lean into that and actually sink into that moment of pain or confusion or this isn't fair, that's where the idea starts to come from. If I had not been treated the way I was treated online, I would have never had that deep pain surrounding online toxicity and abuse, and I would have never been inspired to go and try to fix it. And without that, there would be no Bumble today.
When viewed from the perspective of achievement, every challenging situation in life is a script waiting to be flipped.
That incubator would be the incubator where we ended up launching Tinder. So it was by happenstance that connection happened. But I think it was about taking advantage of an opportunity, right? Seeing an opportunity, and it didn't feel perfect. And I think this is a good lesson for people, is the way it was described to me at that dinner. People think, oh, well, she got so lucky. She met the so-and-so of so-and-so. That's not what it was like. That concept of Tinder was never mentioned. It was never called Tinder at the time. And it was a totally different opportunity, but it was putting my foot in the door of something that would then turn into something else and something else. And I think so many people wait around for the most perfect headline when it comes to an opportunity that they can't really see or read between the lines. And everybody has that potential. Everybody can do that. They just have to be willing to say, well, this is a stepping stone, or this is a door that I could bust open, right? And I think that's kind of how I've tried to approach most things in my career.
When life is viewed through the eyes of achievement, there are no perfect opportunities. There are only possibilities, and possibilities that can be perfected. This bit of wisdom from Herd in this last segment is perhaps the most applicable to many, many, many people, to many, many situations in life, where we ordinarily will judge a situation, evaluate something or someone or an idea based solely on what it appears to be at that moment. The ability or the inability to see deeper into the possibilities, into the potential of a person, a place, an idea, and obviously any sort of vocation, job, or skill is often the difference between success and mediocrity. This is, of course, another form of vision, one of the 3 stars that are the keys to all achievement. But when we think of this in the context of a career or a career opportunity, it takes on a slightly different perspective and a different emphasis. Because all too often in the world of careers, jobs, vocations, skills, we only see the short-term results instead of thinking, where could this lead? What could this become? Unlike the subject of our first episode of Billionaire Values, Bernard Arnault, chairman of LVMH and wealthiest person on the planet, who had a very clear idea and vision of what he wanted to achieve with his luxury brand acquisitions, Herd had no idea where this first opportunity might lead. Herd's lack of vision was as crucial an ingredient to her success as Arnault's crystal clear vision was to his. Herd's vision evolved as she delved deeper and deeper and deeper into the daily tasks and took advantage of more and more opportunities. Herd's path required flexibility, adaptability, and trusting her instincts and her intuition in order to reach the big picture vision, where she could use all of her other skills to achieve the goals.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of people that thought it was ridiculous early on. They're like, why are you doing a campaign that has nothing to do with dating? You know, we did this huge campaign where our team put together this, huge push on be the CEO your parents always wanted you to marry. And then in parentheses, it said, and then find someone you actually like or want to date. And I remember a lot of people being like, we're not going to do this. There's no ROI here. What's the ROI? There's no call to action. There's no download in the App Store. And what was fascinating was it built this wild following of our brand. So people that would never have downloaded a dating app are now wearing our hat.
Herd's final billionaire value is her use of the unorthodox. By unorthodox, we mean the uncommon, the unexpected, the remarkable, and the memorable. In creative endeavors in particular, the difference between success and greatness often boils down to the use of the unorthodox. And while you may not think of Whitney Wolfe Herd in the same sentence or category as a Steve Jobs, or as a Thelonious Monk, the legendary jazz pianist, or as basketball pioneer Bob Cousy, after a brief examination of her executive record, you will be left with the conclusion that she should be included in that category. From selling bamboo totes to raise money for charity, to the guerrilla marketing tactics she used to turn Tinder into an overnight sensation, to the brilliant long-term big picture strategy and campaign that she used to turn Bumble into more than just another dating app. Herd employed the unorthodox to distinguish and separate herself from the competition even when she had created the competition. But like all rare, valuable, sparkling things, the unorthodox will never be found at the surface. It will never be found at first glance. It will require digging, effort, pursuit. But effort and pursuit are the essence of achievement. And what is life without achievement?